secretly recorded my boss for 3 months just at the company-wide meeting. I accidentally played the wrong audio file. I never planned to become a corporate whistleblower. 6 months ago, I was just another marketing coordinator at Health First Pharmaceuticals parent, underpaid, overworked, but grateful for the steady paycheck that helped support my mom's cancer treatments. Everything changed when our department got a new director, Marcus Winters, charming Yale-educated, with the kind of confidence that made executives swoon and subordinates scramble to impress ex-eminent except Diane, our 58-year-old office manager who'd been with the company for 23 years. He's all shine, no substance, she whispered to me after his first department meeting. Watch herself around him. 2 weeks later, Diane was gone. Port early retirement according to HR. But I saw her packing her desk, eyes red and hands shaking. They're pushing me out, she confided. Marcus said, I am not a culture fit anymore. The next day, Marcus hired Amber Parrott, 26, fresh out of business school, and clearly intimidated by him. When I mentioned Diane's decades of experience, Marcus laughed. Experience is just another word for outdated. We need fresh blood, not dinosaurs. I might have let it go if that had been the end. But then came the marketing campaign for Solentra, our new migraine medication. During development meetings, our medical advisor, Dr. Chen, repeatedly raised concerns about minimizing certain side effects in our materials. The clinical trials showed a 14% risk of liver complications in patients over 50. She insisted. We need to be transparent about that. Marcus would nod seriously in meetings then, later tell us to bury the negatives on page 3 of the insert and focus on the benefits in all consumer-facing materials. When Dr. Chen pushed back, Marcus started scheduling key meetings when she couldn't attend. That's when I started recording not every conversation tour, just the meetings about Solentra and the one-ons where Marcus outlined his vision for marketing. I wasn't even sure why at first. Maybe as insurance if things went south. Maybe because my mom had suffered liver damage from an inadequately labeled medication years ago. Over 3 months, I accumulated hours of damning audio. Marcus explicitly instructing us to downplay side effects, mocking epi guidelines as suggestions, bragging about how he'd sideline Dr. Chen, even joking about patients being hypochondriacs who read too much fine print. I kept the recordings on a single USB drive labeled quarterly budget reports turret, the one file I knew nobody would ever voluntarily open. Last week, our CEO announced a company-wide meeting to unveil the Solentra marketing campaign to the entire staff. Before its public launch, Marcus was given a 15-minute presentation slot to showcase our department's work. The night before, I stayed late, supposedly to help Marcus prepare. When he stepped out for a call, I copied one specific recording to his presentation folder and renamed it Solentra Potting Final. M3 paired the exact name of the background music file he planned to play during his introduction. The next day, 200 employees, including the entire executive team, gathered in the conference center. Marcus strode confidently to the podium, thanked everyone for coming, and clicked play on his presentation remote. Instead of inspirational background music, the room filled with his own voice. Look, just bury the liver warning in the legal jargon. Nobody reads that shit anyway. Chen is being paranoid. The FDA won't catch it, and if they do, we'll pay the fine. It's just cost of doing business. There was more. 3 full minutes of Marcus explicitly directing us to mislead consumers before someone finally cut the audio. The room was dead silent. Marcus stood frozen remote, still pointed at the screen, his face ashen. The CEO recovered first. Marcus, my office. Now exclamation, else meeting adjourned. I sat motionless as people filed out, whispering frantically. Our legal counsel was already on her phone. Dr. Chen caught my eye from across the room. She knew. She gave me the smallest nod before turning away. I was called to ER an hour later. I expected to be fired, possibly even threatened with legal action. Instead, I found the CEO, legal counsel, and the head of HR looking grave. We need to know if you have more recordings, the CEO said without preamble. I placed the USB drive on the table. Everything is here. I'll delete all copies after you confirm. You have what you need? Why didn't you come to us directly? The legal counsel asked. Would you have believed me, a marketing coordinator against a director with Yale connections and executive friends? Nobody answered. They knew I was right. That was yesterday. This morning, Marcus was escorted from the building. The Solentra launch has been delayed for label review. I've been placed on paid administrative leave while they investigate Pair 10, which really means while they figure out if I am a liability or an asset. My mom called during lunch, worried about my job. Don't worry, I told her. Sometimes doing the right thing costs you, but not doing it costs more. I don't know if I'll still have a career next week. I don't know if Health First will actually fix the Solentra labeling or just find more subtle ways to mislead. But I do know that somewhere out there, people like my mom might be a little safer because of one accidental audio file.